Yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
So good evening,
Share
everybody,
my
and welcome
screen.
to our Tuesday, our Tech Tuesday. And I'm not going to be the one talking tonight. Mandy's going to do the talking tonight. Mandy, let me just let you share your screen over there. There you
Oh,
go.
awesome.
Yep. There you go. Take it away.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. The power of one. How it all begins. It only takes one conversation to find one interested person with a dream. Interest plus dream equals new distributor. You show your new distributor how to talk to one new person and the magic begins. Just remember, you spoke to only one person. The power of one equals the power of you. Neolife is like a perfect vehicle to help you build your network marketing business. The company is dedicated to improving lives with the highest quality products. We are blessed to have this business opportunity to share with everyone who has a dream and is willing to make a decision and take action. Just remember, you only had to talk to one interested person to set the ball rolling. So if you found Jane showed an interest in the business, and you taught her how to talk to a person and explain the business, she could go out and speak to Greg. And Greg was interested. So with the result is Jane would teach Greg how to talk to a person, and in turn, he would go out and find one person who would be Susan, and Susan was interested and joined. But you must also remember that even though we are just showing one leg going down, if you spoke to Jane and Jane got all excited and wanted to talk to more than one person and get more than one person joined, that would be totally up to her. And you would be there as her mentor to guide her and lead her into growing her business. By talking to people, you are lighting a candle of hope. This action will make the world a healthier and happier and wealthier place. Build a team and get paid for sharing the products. Earn bonuses based on your sales volume and sales volume of those in your team. Don't forget, it's teachers teaching teachers to teach. Let's light the world up by sharing the good news. Right, so that's just short and sweet. And we all like to, let me just stop sharing. We all just like to know that by talking to other people, that is the only way we will plant the seeds to make our business grow. And by mentoring the people that have joined your business, and you've got to remember, you've got to get through the no's to get the yeses. So don't get discouraged when you get a no, because the more no's you get, the closer you're getting to a yes. And it would be the same thing for your downlines, your people that have joined your business. So you've just got to keep their spirits high and encourage them to stay focused and have fun doing it. Because if it becomes a chore, then it comes across to whoever you're speaking to that you're just in it for the business and you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy the products, and the only way to make this business grow is by using the products, because you need to use them to be able to tell people about them and help people that might have a need for a specific product. So yes, it's in your best interest to do it and keep on talking to everybody.
Perfect. Yes. And we don't have to go and tap on shoulders of strangers wherever we find them. It's basically, I was listening to Don Failer again today. It's always good to rehash these trainings, but it's, as he says, you don't go and talk to strangers. And a stranger is somebody you just haven't been introduced to yet. So you know somebody. all you have to do is get that friend of yours who you know to introduce you to their friends. That way, you will never be speaking to a stranger. So whenever you need to speak to a stranger, find a friend and ask them to introduce you to their friends. And just by simple conversations, watching the Eric Worre trainings again just recently, it's just simple conversations. And I know I tend to overthink that. Probably a lot of people do. Hopefully I'm not the only one. But you're thinking about, what are they going to think of me? What are they going to think about this? That's not your problem. I think it was Jim Rohn who always used to say, don't sign up for that course. Our job is to sow the seed. Our job isn't to worry about what they're thinking or what their answer is. Their job is to ask us questions. Our job is to answer their questions intelligently. And if we don't know the answer, be strong enough to say so and say, very good question, may I get back to you? And that way you've actually opened a way to get back to them anyway. So there's an art to conversations. And I know I do tend to overthink it, but you think about wherever you are. I had that experience over the weekend. We actually didn't have a choice, but one of our local hospitals that I work with had there was a wellness day throughout the shopping center. So they had a stand and they invited my company to put up a stand as well. And what happens in my company is I generally am the spokesman for some reason or other. I'm not too sure why. So I had to start a whole lot of random conversations. Think about a shopping center full of people. And they come along and they see something and they start asking questions. And in fact, a lot of people go along and they just look. And what I was doing, which sort of broke the ice, was, hi, you don't look as though you need my support. Is there anything that you see here that you would be interested in? Because if they're young, fit, and healthy and not limping or not missing any limbs, they don't really need me, because my patients I normally meet by accident. But it's just a matter of breaking the ice, saying hi. Yeah, you don't look as though that you need anything that I've got. However, if you've got questions and you start talking, and it's just, I had to ramble through 100 different meetings in the space of about 2 hours. And it was literally, hi, how's it going? Oh, yeah, no, well, I've got this problem, I've got that problem. Okay, well, now we can talk. But you didn't know if they had a problem until they mentioned it. But until they mentioned it, it was just a case of get to know you. How are you? How can I help? In fact, you don't even have to say, how can I help? Hey, what do you think about this crazy weather at the moment? Saturday was, so who do you think is going to win the game? Which probably explained why the shopping center was quite empty at the time. But it's those little things, just random things. If you're cheeky like me, you'll walk past somebody and overhear them make a comment, and you can make a funny comment as well. They're either going to look at you as if to go, you pulled your branch, or they'll comment back again, and you can either become part of the conversation or you've made them laugh and you carry on. But there's an art to conversations, and it's taken me a very, 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 very long time to start to learn. I am not an expert by any means, but I'm slowly learning after all these years. Any other comments or suggestions?
I'd just like to add one more thing. Another thing is, if you keep getting no's, you mustn't take the no's to heart, because a no might be no for now, or I'm too busy, or something like that. And all you need to do is say to the person, no problem, can I get back to you in a month's time or 6 months' time or whatever? And you never know that if you speak to that person a little bit later down the line. They might be ready to do the business then, or more interested in it.
Correct.
Can I just say something?
Hmm.
First of all, thank you, Mandy. That was a good presentation.
Thanks, John.
Today, at the supermarket, excuse me, there was a big guy with his back towards a display cabinet, as if he was hiding something. Excuse me. So I just said to him, I said, what type of products are you hiding from us, the public, that we could get a bargain from? So just really, and he actually kept quiet. And I thought, well, I'm not going to push him. He was a big guy. So then he suddenly stopped. He was calculating, and I had interrupted his calculation. Okay. So I could see that I've made an error, not an opportune moment. But the moment he was free, he said, I'm hiding a lot of stuff here I don't want you guys to see. And he became very friendly and talkative. So I broke the ice with my first salver to see how it would wear with him. And if he hadn't replied to me, he wasn't in the mood and I would have walked away. But I know where he works now and he's one of the managers. So I'm going to go back there and I say, have you got any other stuff you're hiding from us? Take it from me.
Perfect. Not everybody you speak to is in a good mood. I was listening to a talk by Ray Higdon recently, and he was commenting that he'd walked into one of his local supermarkets and he was looking for something specific. He walked up to this guy and he asked him for whatever it was that he was looking for. And he said, this guy looked at him and said, over there, and turned around and walked away. And he thought, well, that was very rude. And he said, in his previous life, because that was before he became converted, he said he would have probably started an argument and the whole thing would have erupted into a big fight and it wouldn't have ended well. You know, he said he walked out and he went, yeah, that wasn't good. And then he thought about it and he thought, well, maybe he's having a bad day. And he said he'd walked about half a block down the road and he had this overwhelming feeling that he needed to go back. And he turned around, he went back, and he found the guy again, and he said, I'm sorry, but I noticed that you seem to be having a bad day. I hope I didn't interrupt anything, and I hope you can enjoy your day further. And he said this guy looked at him, and he said his face changed completely. And he said, I'm so sorry. Yes, I just had some bad news. I wasn't having a good time, and I should not have taken it out on you. And he said they started a great conversation. Everything went well. So when people snap at you or say no or just ignore you, it's nothing personal. You don't know what's just happened to them. And I know me personally, I do tend to take things personally in a lot of cases, but you've got to learn to overlook that part. They're people. And we spend our lives thinking about what other people are thinking about us, when in reality, 99.9% of the time, they could care less what we are, what we say, what we do, because they're more concerned about what we think about them. Colleen, what do you think from your perspective? Because I know you do booths and house sales and all that sort of thing.
I usually start a conversation by giving a compliment. So since I love handbags, I always notice the handbag before the person. And that's usually my first sentence. Oh, I love your bag. Or something like that. And yeah, If you're a handbag person, then the conversation is flowing. Oh, I've got so many, you know, I have to hide it from my husband, blah, blah, blah. So we had a little nice chat. So, yeah, I guess that's how I start most of the time. I just give a compliment. Doesn't matter what it is.
That's perfect. And that's what you need to do, is just be a friend. One of the, John, I think it's John Milton, he says, you be a friend first and a network marketer second. Like network marketer is the third thing you do. You become a networker second, friend first, networker second, network marketer third.
You'll be amazed at how friendly people really are.
Mhm.
They will talk about anything and anything. I mean, especially us women. You'll be looking at a fruit. They'll say, I wonder how these taste. I know those nachos are very, very tasty. They're sweet, you know. And then, yeah, I think us women have it much easier than the guys, because we do tend to talk more. And yeah, it's so funny. At least, you know, you could even, I don't know what, some conversations go from the fruit to the meat. You never know. Even looking at the meat, I love to look at that. The beef prices. I mean, whoa! I don't know if I can afford to eat this meat anymore. And then, whoa! Then it opens a whole ton of worms. So yeah, you know how our meat used to be, and if you're wings, and then everything carry on. Yeah. And that's good, because later on, you can just say to them, you know, you like to earn a bit of extra income, so they'll help you buy the meat.
Yeah. And that's the
That's true.
thing, one can control a conversation. And it's amazing how just one or two words can change the conversation completely. Obviously, at work, it's a different story because I need to find specific information. But when you start talking in general, you start on
red
this
velvet
subject,
suit and a frankly
and then you
unconvincing
can
beard, was
change it
sitting
all the
in
way
a makeshift
back.
throne. He was a natural. He listened to each child's.
There we go. You start on this subject, and you can actually change the subject completely as you go along, just by odd words here and there that make that difference. So it's just a matter of listening and seeing where and when you can tweak it or change the conversation. And just, it's like a boat that goes along. You just knock the thing a little bit, knock it a little bit, knock it a little bit, and it slowly turns. And we can change the conversation exactly the same way. Just one or two words here and there. But if you've initiated it, it's a good idea to then be in control, because otherwise the other person is going to control their conversation, and then it can go anywhere.
Let me just say something.
Hmm.
We're talking about meeting the people face to face in a supermarket, wherever. We used to have a guy called Paul Panis. He was a very shorter than me. Can you imagine that? But he was a Scot Greek guy. I heard nothing against Greeks, except he had that Greek, that face of a Greek person that's very angry. But his forte was phoning.
Talent was his voice.
His talent was his voice. He had a voice like silken thread. And he would get on the phone and easily phone 8 or 10 people and get 9 appointments for the team. And they would all look out for Carl Panis to come up the driveway, thinking, here's this Greek giant that they would be dying to meet. And he just had a melted voice. It was his talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And apparently, someone said here's I need to phone a list for the team. Can you give me some? It was quite a high character person. And he gave a list to Carl. And Carl, when he first began, he wondered why they were all beginning with A. And he got through I think he had 15 that first time when he went for the job. And I think he got 11 appointments. And he said he was afraid of phoning until he tried it. So he just, what this guy did, he tore the A page out of the telephone directory. Back then we had telephone directories. And he said, here's a listing. So I was just thinking just the other day, we've all got a names list somewhere. And we all can sit down 10 or 15 minutes and just try it one more time. You never know. You might just have those few words. And what Manny said just now is so right. He used to always compliment them first of all. Yeah. Sorry? Well, Corinne said that. It's either one of you mentioned that you compliment them before you talk to them. So whoever was a very good words of wisdom, and I should have made a note of them. But I think to me, it's a bit more awkward if you meet the person in the supermarket and now you want to appoint them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I normally do there, I just say to them, listen, I can't chat with you now, but could I give you a call either Thursday next week or Friday, which will suit you better in the morning or afternoon, and then reappoint it. So once you've done your initial break the ice to get in there, then try not sell him the whole deal or sell him the whole deal. You've got to extract yourself quickly out of that situation so that you can get back to them. Okay, thanks, Sean. Thank
you. Now it's just trying to find a common ground.
Okay,
No.
I have a question before time is up.
Mm-hmm.
So one area that I terribly fail is getting people in the business, but I just cannot get them to stick in the business. So I'm there to support them. I encourage them to join our Zoom meetings. None of them ever had. So what do you do that is fun? Or I don't know, what do you do to keep your people in your team? I know the products is great. I mean, everything is great. The business is wonderful. The products is wonderful. But it just seems not to be enough for me. I don't know. Well, it's enough for me, not for them. If you know what I mean.
Bernie, I think before you even get them to meetings or whatever, you've got to be a very good friend to them. Befriend them. In other words, take them for coffee or, invite them for tea or whatever. That's the first thing, is to be a friend. Because whether they come to meetings or not, if you've made a friend, they won't leave you. If you're just acquaintance, then you're just a business deal. In the old days, and I say the old days when we were younger, like your age, John and I used to actually take them away for the weekend. I know Jenny Holiday's not here, and I don't know if Ansi does. Oh, hello. Yeah. So we used to go out for weekends down the coast or inland, wherever we could. They paid for it. They paid for themselves. But we'd say, let's have a weekend together at such and such a place, And that's how we got to know our people that are still with us today. Not because we sold them products or took them to meetings or anything like that. It's because we spent time together. And when I say time, I mean we've been to Summit Port, even have a braai on the beach. I know it's difficult for you because I don't think your husband's in the business. Whereas with John and I, it was easier because it was John and I. But we had team building was very important. We had a funny little place down the south coast at Summit Port, where the children go for their camps.
Mhm.
So it was very sparse, very sparse. One of our team played the guitar. In the evening, we'd all sit around
Same.
and sing, and we'd have time to sing and just have fun. And that always worked for us. I don't know if Mandy can remember because I think your folks used to join us, yeah. And you were little
Yeah.
ones, so were my kids are little ones. So yes, we used to have quite a lot of get-togethers. And I suppose nowadays, I don't know if it's any different, but become more of a friend than a distributor.
And I also think
Okay, so
find out
sorry,
their why.
Most of my people are my friends already, so I keep that relationship. And when I see them, I don't always talk business. I'm really just that friend. And then I thought, okay, maybe I should talk more about the business. I don't know.
No,
Maybe I'm neglecting those talks and focus too much on the friendships. I don't know. I do something wrong
Yeah,
eventually.
you do have to meet a balance.
Yeah, find the
Um,
balance.
Yeah, and then just lead the conversations. You know, just listen to what they are saying. They the little things like, oh yeah, I bought some flowers and they died. Or try a little bit of LVC in the vase. You know, just little things. Keep bringing the products up all the time. So that's so it becomes a whole lifestyle
Yeah.
and not a division.
Show that the business is part of the lifestyle, or the lifestyle is
right.
part of the business, whatever.
But Colleen, don't feel bad because I've had similar experiences with two people, and sometimes it's just their lives and whatever's affecting them, and they can't get over it. So don't think it has been yourself doing something wrong.
That's right.
Because some people will do the business and some people won't. So yeah, you just be a friend, put your best foot forward, encourage them where you can, and then just keep going on and don't become stagnant with just those people. Look for other people to add to your business.
Mm.
Oh, she's beautiful, Sean. Hello, my darling.
You stop
What is your
recording.
name?